Good afternoon. We're here today to record another one of our Veterans in FM Careers in FM series, and excited today to welcome James Vause. James is Facilities Coordinator with Kiowa Kieran and previously was in the Army. He's going to tell us about his transition into FM. Good afternoon, James.
Afternoon, nice to speak to you.
Thanks for joining us today. So James, really it'd be great to start by just hearing about your
hmm
own career journey from the army to a career
Yeah.
in FM.
Yeah, so I joined the Army as a junior in 1990, um, served various regiments all the way up to 2015 when I
Yeah.
left. Did what everybody else does when they leave the Army, gets given that golden handshake of come to the reserve. Joined the reserve, lasted there 5.5, nearly 6 years,
Mm.
and decided pretty much I needed something else. In the time since I left the regulars, I worked the events industry, a bit of security, a bit of this, that, and the other. Um, COVID happened, which pretty
Yeah.
much destroyed events for everybody. So then I
Mm.
ended up working basically security and that, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't really challenging enough.
Mm.
And I was looking on LinkedIn one day, and there was this job in Galashiels, literally 5 minutes away from my home,
Yeah.
looking for somebody supposedly to do security, and yeah, it was anything but. And a year later, yeah, with three various things have happened. I spent quite a few months actually running this office myself as a facilities coordinator, working through it as much as I could. Um, the FM at the time was very passionate about IWFM. So she signposted me in quite a few things, and you know what? A year later, I just love the industry. I love the job and the challenges it has every day. So it took a
That's
long time,
great.
but I think I
Yeah.
found it. In some respects, it was very much like the military, where no day is the same, and there's always, if
Mm.
you want to learn, it's here for you. And I even, now a year in, and I'm sitting there and go, whoa. Um, but transition-wise, I definitely think that my time in the job did help me to find this
Yeah.
in the end, and what it's becoming.
So it'd be good to hear a little bit more about the business actually, and the specifics of your role. If you would be happy to share that. There'll be some people here, other service leavers who haven't necessarily thought of a career in
hmm
facilities management, don't know a huge amount about it. So it's always great to share. It's such a diverse. A diverse sector, isn't it,
Yeah,
and opportunities that exist. It'd be lovely to just hear a bit more about your experience there.
yeah. As I said, every day is different here. So as facilities coordinator, I deal with the day-to-day running of everything FM, um, whether it be a purely a maintenance thing or getting new contractors in, showing them around, that type of thing, to working with finance department, helping them with their day-to-day job. It's pretty, it is what you make of it. If you want to sit around and just do what it says on a job spec, you could do, I think, in some places. But my thing for everybody would be, you know what, embrace this because it's just it keeps that working, which is a lot of things, a
Mm,
lot of jobs that don't.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the amount of opportunities, and there's that many courses and things out there which forces leavers, I think, will be quite good with because
mm,
they know, you do a course, you do this course, that course, and something else comes out of it. But here in the FM world, it's like, whoa, you could be one day doing something, making sure that X, Y, and Z have got what they need to do their daily job, and the next day you're messing around with, pretty big contractors
yes,
talking
yeah,
talking big money. And for me, it was like, whoa, it's amazingly big.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no day is the same.
presumably, been used to doing that in your army career, adaptable, different things
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
So,
There's
yeah.
lots of things we bring into this job, and you would be surprised because I actually had somebody a couple of months ago help me basically civify my CV because it was most of it was very much military, and to a lot of people that sit there and go, "Well, I don't know what that means." I don't know what that means. Well,
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
I was like transferable skills. You would be amazed, day to day, the amount of transferable skills that we have, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, leading on nicely to the next question, I guess, James, which of the skills and experiences from your personal perspective, from your military service, do you think have been most valuable to you in your FM career so far?
I think basically like um, in the military you get a direction to go in to do something. Um, and it's they'll say you're doing X, Y, and Z, and that's how it's happening. Whereas
Yeah.
here, sometimes you'll get a task that you're doing one day, and it works the same. Whereas you'll get in and you'll start looking at the paperwork or whatever, and then you'll be getting in touch with X, Y to get the end product done, or to just solve that little problem you're having, or maybe you know they're having issues with an outside agency, and through just being sometimes between the way the military think and the way military look at themselves across, you can actually put yourself there and be that not robust, but like, look, this is what it is, mate. This is how we're gonna do. This is how what we would like. Let's talk about this. Pretty much like a day in the field, an exercise, or or an operations. You're always going to be in that situation where you have to be able to stand there and speak to people and be confident at not saying I am right, you are wrong, but being able to put yourself across articulately and being
Yes.
able to meet in the middle sometimes. It's good. Yeah, okay, I see your point. So let's go this way, and we'll meet there, and everybody will be happy, hopefully.
Yeah, very much a
Yeah,
team-based
absolutely.
ethos, very people focused, isn't it, as a role, FM, and that sort of ability to work together, collaborate, influence different stakeholders, that sort of thing. We've touched a little bit on the organisation and your current role. What advice would you give to other service leavers who are looking into coming into workplace and facilities management as a career? Specifically things like any training that you've found useful, networking strategies, things like that you've found particularly helpful yourself, James?
For me, one of the key things I found, well, obviously networking, finding the IWFM for me was because then I can speak to people. I can, you can go on webinars, you can go on the website and read other people's journeys and get advice off people who've actually been there in our shoes and then have progressed. I mean, I've met some amazing people on some of the short courses and all that with IWFM, and you sit there and go,
Yeah.
wow, you know, and you realise that we have so much to give on the positive side, and
Absolutely.
of course,
Yeah.
if you're in your last couple of years and you're going, oh, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with myself, but I've heard of this and I quite like it. There is so many courses that you would get offered, but I mean, for me, a key thing is if you're thinking about coming into this world and you can't get an amazing amount of guidance, there is people out there who are very happy, as people worked with me over the last 12 months, very happy to actually sit there and guide you in that direction that's going to get you either your foot in the door into some amazing, massive organisations, or at least say to you, well, I'd like to start a bit lower and work my way up. I had a senior rank friend who contacted me about a month ago saying, I'd heard you're doing this. What advice would you give me? And I was there going, wow, and didn't actually realise it until then. This is a massive industry, massive industry, and we have
Yeah.
so much to give.
What's your view on trends that you see shaping the future of the sector, and why it's an exciting career to consider for people?
The trends of it, as things that we do in FM, I mean, every day, as I said, every day is different. You have those key skills that you need. You're going to use every day communication skills. You're able to use technology and understand what people in this world are actually talking to you about from pretty much from day one. And one of the bits of advice I'd give anybody that comes into this one: don't be afraid to be dumb and say,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, because the people out there would, so many, they're so helpful. The future of FM for me, I only realised while going on a couple of webinars that how amazingly massive FM is. One of the biggest ones for me was I went on one about higher education and how FM works in higher education, and it was specifically how they were making somewhere a college in university in England as inclusive as possible. And when they actually you sit down there and you listen to these people, you go, wow. And then you realise about this is not a little thing. This is a massive, and you can apply FM into nearly every single day of people's lives, but you just don't realise it.
Absolutely.
And it
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
where do you want to stop?
So, what do you think the main challenge is then, from your perspective, as an industry, highlighting ourselves to other service leavers, so that people are aware of FM?
Well, I mean, obviously hearing it from a friend, I think there isn't an amazing amount of knowledge out there on the army side. They're very much into the be a truck driver, be this, be that, be the other, and they're very ring fenced into what they offer. And unless you actually go looking for things like this, I mean, if I had known about this when I left, I'd have been a lot further, educationally a lot better off than I was. But there doesn't seem to be the big push for the FM world, which is pretty rubbish, because as they train you as somebody in the military, they're giving you those key FM skills in your day-to-day life, whether it be on operations, whether it be on an exercise, or whether it be just day-to-day work. They give you all these things. I mean, we had a health and safety audit here a bit ago, and I'd say up, so the person would need to sign in a certain place, and when he turned around, the first thing he saw was what I called the Wailing Wall, which was all of the health and safety policy.
Yeah.
And this guy walked in, turned around, and went, wow, and spent most of his day, not in a bad way, actually trying to find things wrong, because that was one of those military things. You just give him that, you give him so much information straight away for what they're asking for, and makes people smile. It's like having a room inspection, and if it smells clean, it is clean.
Yes. Yeah.
It's things like that. But when giving them that information that we would have done every day, thinking, oh, you must do that because it is, yeah, it's.
Yeah. From our conversations, James, I know you've loved your time in FM
Absolutely.
so far, haven't you?
Yeah.
What are the best things about it for you?
For me, I had been in the FM world for 4 months. My FM suggested that I went for a scholarship through IWFM, and I thought, really, I've been in this 4 month arc. Well, I'll do it anyway, see what happens. There was 2 scholarships given away last year, and I came third. Now, for me,
Amazing.
I'm sitting there and going, a guy who's been in this industry 4 months, and I'm coming third. And it's not putting anything down on anybody else with the industry who's got degrees and has done this, that, and the other. But I felt so confident about myself in this world because of where I came in that. And yes, I have, I've done the paperwork and the first round of it again this year with hope. So I can educate myself even more, push myself even more within the industry.
Fantastic. Well, that's great to hear, and I think it's a good message, James, that you know, people need to come out with the confidence. You know, your message has been quite strong there. There are a lot of transferable skills, and FM is a great place for people. Thank you very much for your time today and sharing your story. It's been really interesting to hear, and really, really happy that you're loving your time in FM, and long may that continue. So yeah, thanks again,
No
James.
problem.